Hello, my name's Teacher David Adam and you're watching another episode of Fresh Off the Press English. Today we're looking at the Vice President's debate. This news comes from AP. It's about the recent debate between Kamala Harris and Mike Pence, who are running to be the vice presidents of the United States of America. Let's look at the headline. Pence, Harris face off on COVID-19 in VP debate. Face off. Face off. If we have a face off, basically if you face somebody, sometimes this word can mean you're fighting something or you're having to beat something. A face off is when two people or two things are fighting each other, basically. Face off. They're both facing each other and they're going to see who can win. It's a face off. Debate. Debate, debate, debate. Now, this is when two people use their words to fight, basically. They're going to argue about different ideas, different things, and see who can be the winner in terms of who is better at arguing, who can make the other one look stupid and make themselves look good. It's called a debate. When people use words to try and argue with each other. Separated by plexiglass barriers, Republican Vice President Mike Pence and Democrat challenger Kamala Harris sparred over the Trump administration's handling of the pandemic. Plexiglass. Plexiglass. Plexiglass is this clear, like glass, but it's plastic, that you see now in many shops and many places as a kind of protection from spreading the virus. Even my shop here, if I go to the shop, they have plexiglass to stop us from spreading the virus to the shopkeeper or the shopkeeper spreading it to us. It's plexiglass. It's a kind of clear, it's like glass, you can see through it, but it's made of plastic. Sparred. Sparred. They sparred. Now, this again is another way of meaning kind of like a fight, basically. Normally when we are boxing, piao piao, to spar means in a way to practice fighting. Yeah, so here we're saying they sparred with their words. They were practicing, arguing with each other, having a practice fight in a way. Not really fighting, just sparring. Not trying to hurt each other too much, but it's still good practice as a real fight with words. They sparred. The candidates debated in an auditorium where any guest who refused to wear a face mask was to be asked to leave. Auditorium. Auditorium. Now, an auditorium is usually like a large room with seats going up and a stage at the bottom. And so many people can sit and watch something. Usually it will be a lecture at university. We have a lecture, a lesson in the auditorium. It's a big room with lots of chairs and a stage for people to watch a show or watch a lesson. It's called an auditorium. It's a large room. Trailing in polls, Trump and Pence have no time to lose. Election day is less than 4 weeks away and millions of Americans are already casting ballots. Trailing. Trailing. If you are trailing, it means you are behind. You are losing. Trailing. You are behind. You are behind somebody. Somebody is in front of you. If you are trailing them, it means you are behind them. Polls. Polls. Now, a poll is a questionnaire. It's when we ask people questions and we get the answers from lots of people, and this is called a poll. You can have many different kinds of polls. I could poll people about their favorite kind of ice cream: chocolate, vanilla, banana. I could ask 100 people, and then the answers I get, that would be a poll. I can poll people. It's when we ask people questions. Here, the poll is about who do you want to be the next president of America? And so it's very important for them to not be trailing in the polls. Casting ballots. Ballots. Now, the ballot is the piece of paper which the American people write down who they want to win the election. There'll be a piece of paper, it has different people's names. This is called a ballot. We cast a ballot, meaning we throw the ballot into the big bucket to vote, to say who we want to win. Everybody puts their piece of paper, puts their ballot together, and then they count them to see who is the winner. Ballots. While the debate covered a range of topics, the virus was at the forefront. Forefront. Range. Now, the word range means there's a large space between the different things. So we have the virus, we had people's jobs, we have people coming to the country, immigration, a wide range. Range means what's the difference. So here it says a range of topics, meaning many different topics, many different things that they spoke about. A range. Forefront. This word forefront sounds like what it means. It means at the front. So the virus, talking about the virus was the main topic. It was on top of everything else. It was in front of everything else they spoke about, was the virus and how important it is. The forefront of something means the very front, the most important in some ways. Let's look at the words from today's lesson. Face off. Face off. Debate. Debate. Plexiglass. Plexiglass. Sparred. Sparred. Auditorium. Auditorium. Trailing. Trailing. Polls. Polls. Ballots. Ballots. Range. Range. Forefront. Forefront. Write down these words and remember them. These are important words when we're talking about the American election that's going to happen in November. This will be in the news more and more. More people will be talking about it, the election, the debates between the different people who want to be the president, the places, the auditorium, the polls, the questions that are asked, and the ballots, the way people vote. These are all important words when we want to talk about voting. I'm British. I'm not an American. And so I'm not interested in it so much. I think people who are too interested in these sorts of things get a bit too confused by the world around them. They don't realize that this is just a show. Most of these debates and these politicians, these people on the news that make choices about our lives, it's just a show. They're just there to make you feel like somebody is in charge, but I think ultimately people are in charge of the world around us, and these people who are on TV leading our countries are just a show. It's a TV show. It's just a TV show. Never forget, it's just a TV show. And actually, it's up to you and me, the people around us, to change the world, make it how we want it to be. Don't worry, you can do it. We can change the world. We don't need to wait for people on TV, on a TV show, to help us. They're not going to help us. We have the power. Yes, we can help ourselves. Thank you for watching this episode of Fresh Off the Press English. I hope you're doing well. Please subscribe, share the video, tell your mum, tell your brother, tell your cousin, tell your auntie, tell your uncle, tell your grandparents, tell your children about this show, and help me spread the news in English and help people improve their ability in understanding words. As always, don't be bored, be busy. Thank you very much. Good night.